What's up, everyone? It's Caddy with Money Investing. So thank you so much for joining in. So market's pretty much once again green so far pre-market. Good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for everybody joining in. If you guys can hear me, see me, everything is working according to the plan, just let me know in the live chat and we should be all set. We had a pretty heavy rainfalls here in India and also a lot of floods, which is why in the morning when you guys actually, well, at night when you guys actually checked out the market update, there was a lot of beeping going on, but that was because of the power outages, right? So we had a little bit of power outages, so I do apologize about that. I know a lot of people got freaked out with that beep, but I'll make sure to just either not record, wait for the power to come back on, or just find like a quiet place to actually do it. But then my face won't be there, so I won't have access to the lighting. But I'll do that in the future. So is it common, the power outage? It is pretty common here, unfortunately. It is. It does happen almost every day, but it does prolong for some time if there's, of course, if it's raining or if it's like, if there's floods. So that was one of the reasons why the market update was kind of like that. But so all right. And what city are you in? I'm in New Delhi. Well, I'm in Noida. It's like a small town outside of New Delhi, so just the capital of India, just outside of there. But all right, let's talk about the broader markets. Everything is working good. Kunal, thank you so much for joining in. Steve, welcome on board. Zalak, everybody, Shay, Ismar, thank you so much. Shout out to all you guys. So QQQ, NASDAQ ETF up another 26 basis points after we kind of got that U-turn yesterday. So we were doing well up until like 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Then we saw a drop of 0.5% for the NASDAQ. And right now we're starting to push back higher once again. Yesterday we pretty much closed at record levels once again. The S&P 500 also up over 26 basis points. And we've got the, here, hold on, let me see. There we go. Should be much better now. And then we got the Dow Jones also up over 31 basis points. And the S&P also trading back has 452. Hoping for a green day. Yes, we are. Mara is up another 5.5% today, trading all the way as $43.47. We got Alibaba pushing higher, so that's good. It's up another 2.5%, back up to 177. Remember, $180 is going to be that next resistance level to watch right there. So that is the next resistance and my near-term target to watch for Alibaba moving forward. And again, we got like a double dip here inside that green rectangle, so that is going to be a very strong support level to watch for Alibaba because a lot of buyers stepped in around that level. So that's about as low as I could see. The bottom is in for Alibaba and we could see a strong recovery, again considering that there's no more regulatory issues for Alibaba as well. So that was that. ChargePoint, yes, ChargePoint was pushing higher. It's up another 14.6%, so strong breakout over $22. Yesterday's high was $21.92, so we almost got tagged at $22. And today on the strong earnings that ChargePoint reported, we got a strong breakout pre-market, right? So ChargePoint reported late Wednesday fiscal second quarter loss of 29 cents per diluted share, compared with a loss of $6.97 per share a year earlier. So same time last year, that's a substantial decrease in the EPS in terms of negative EPS. Analysts were expecting about 14 cents per share, and the revenue totaled $56.1 million for the quarter ending in July, rising year over year from $35 million. Analysts polled over $49.1 million. So came in better than expectations for the revenue. EPS came in a little bit shy of the actual estimates, but still a strong increase year over year. And ChargePoint forecast fiscal third quarter revenue to be 60 to 65 million and lifted the full year sales guidance or outlook between 225 and $235 million from a prior guidance of 195 to 205. And the street was looking for 54.7 million for the third quarter, so they came in much higher for the revenue guidance, and they were expecting 206 million, so also a huge beat for the full year fiscal year 2022, so they're in their fiscal year 2022 guidance. So strong revenue beat, we got strong future guidance beat. EPS came in a little bit shy of the expectations, but still strong beat when it comes to year over year numbers. So it's up over 14%. So strong move here back up to $24, $25. And if we can continue to kind of stay above that 50 EMA, that's going to be sitting roughly at $24, $25, then I won't be surprised for us to see some more continuation, some more follow through for ChargePoint, and the target is going to be at close to $27 a share. So that right there is going to be the level. We've gotten rejected at that level twice. So once here back in April, and then once again back in August. So that would be the level to watch as well. So this right here was ChargePoint's earnings. So again, ChargePoint, again, the electric vehicle charging company, saw its shares soar 12%. Chewy, somebody asked me about Chewy, and we were also talking about it on Discord. It was down over 10% pre-market. Strong breakdown here for the company after following a wider than expected quarterly loss and a revenue that fell slightly short of estimates, and the pet products retailers adjusted loss of 4 cents per share was twice as wide as analysts anticipated. With Chewy noting a higher than usual level of out of stock products, the company has also issued a weaker than expected outlook for moving forward as well. I mean, Chewy is one of those companies that doesn't quite get affected by any of the chip shortages or supply chain constraints, right? Maybe packaging to some extent because they have to package all those things out. But for the most part, I mean, if they are giving us a weaker guidance, that is definitely, in my opinion, some cause for concern. But if you guys want, I can actually do a fundamental analysis on this company as well to kind of go over, everything that the company is doing in terms of the revenue, in terms of, the financials, how they're growing, the margins, the cash flow, the balance sheet, and what the future forecast also looks like for the company. Seems like they've got a lot of debt for some reason. Let me take a look. So not the debt, but liabilities. They got $1.8 billion in liabilities. So not sure where that's coming from. So total current liabilities is quite a lot. So $800 million in accounts payable. That's a lot. $800 million alone. That's been going up since the last 3 to 4 quarters. So $702 million to as $804 million. So that's a lot. So ChargePoint, we literally just went over ChargePoint 2 minutes ago. So if you want to kind of scroll back on the live stream, that's the first stock that we went over. So if you want to go back and check out that, and then you can jump over to the actual live stream as well. So, but yeah, we just went over ChargePoint. We're just going over Chewy now. But yeah, liabilities is quite significant for the company. But it trades at less than 5 times sales. In terms of price to earnings, we don't have one right now. So if you guys want, I can definitely take a look at this. But the next support level, technically speaking, is going to be around these levels at close to $75, $76. If it comes down to this target today, then I would be very, very very attracted at this price. It'll be very appealing to take a swing trade on this, at least in the short term, if it comes down to that $75, $76 per share level. So previous support, we validated that level 3 times, once over here back in July, before pushing higher. All right, let's take a look at Lucid Motors. So Lucid was down yesterday, now it's starting to push higher, up another 3% pre-market today. So it looks like we're breaking out over 1750. So this right here is going to be the new support level to watch intraday at close to $17.50. And that next resistance to watch is going to be that $20.79. We do still have a gap that Lucid needs to fill in. So this right here is going to be a small gap we still have because the price is at $18.27. So right there is going to be that price where we're trading, and this, the white sort of rectangle you guys see, is going to be the gap that we need to fill in for Lucid still. So a lot of buyers stepped in. I mean, take a look at the volume yesterday. It was 149 million shares. That's incredible, right? So much volume, so many buyers basically stepped in. For Lucid at $16, we broke out over 1750. So there is a lot of continuation. There's a lot of potential for us to see that follow through for Lucid back up to over $18, $19 a share, right? So that's going to be the gap that it needs to kind of fill in. Let's take a look at this Netflix. So yes, Netflix has been part of our daily market updates. We've seen a strong breakout for Netflix as well, back up to 557, back up to 575. We're seeing that continuation for Netflix also play out. So that next resistance to watch, my near-term target for Netflix is going to be that 593. We almost got tagged at 591 yesterday, but then basically got sold off because the seller stepped in, right? So that right there is going to be that next resistance level to watch. So Dutch, you bring up a great point, 40 billion valuation, no cars. That's why fundamentally, I don't think at the moment right now, it's got a great qualitative piece to it. So it's got a great story, it's got a great brand like Lucid Motors, and of course an American EV maker. But just in terms of the numbers and actual deliveries and everything related to the factual financials is not quite there yet. So I would let the financials kind of get more aligned with the valuation, because 40 billion, couldn't agree with you more, it's a little bit rich for my personal taste. But that being said, Netflix 593, next resistance here, 575 is going to be that next support level to watch. Let's take a look at CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, I saw significant sort of selling pressure here yesterday. It was down about 4%. They also reported their earnings, so let's see if we can actually bring that up. So CrowdStrike EPS revenue jumps in fiscal second quarter. Investors underwhelmed by outlook, shares drop in pre-market. So CrowdStrike, cybersecurity provider, reported after the markets closed on Tuesday. So it wasn't yesterday, but the day before. Net income per diluted share came in at 11 cents, up from 3 cents a year earlier. And analysts surveyed by Capital IQ projected 9 cents. So we got an EPS beat. That's the first thing. Revenue for the quarter ended 337 million, up from 199. So from 200 to 337, we're looking at a little bit over 50% year-over-year growth. And the consensus was 323. So we got a revenue beat and we got an EPS beat for the company. Looking ahead, the company said it anticipates third quarter fiscal non-GAAP EPS of 8 cents to 10 cents. Wall Street was looking at 9 cents, so we're pretty much very aligned with Wall Street's consensus. And it also expects a third quarter revenue of 358 million to 365. Wall Street consensus estimate was 351. So we actually beat expectations when it comes to the revenue guidance compared with the expectations on Wall Street as well. So CrowdStrike is benefiting from a sharp increase in demand of security and protection of following a series of high-profile cyber attacks that even led President Joe Biden to call big technology firms to help tackle the threats to the U.S. government as well as large companies in the country. So, all in all, I like CrowdStrike a lot. I think it's a great company. There's significant demand for cybersecurity and protection. But in my opinion, the valuation is rich, right? So if you take a look at some of the cybersecurity stocks, even Zscaler and CrowdStrike included, you're trading at 55, 60 times sales, right? That's a pretty steep number. So unless you're okay with that sort of valuation, if you're okay with paying that much of a premium, then yes, CrowdStrike, it's a great company. It's got growing revenues. The balance sheet's great. They came in, quadruple beat revenue, EPS, future guidance. So it's got everything except for the valuation, except for where it's trading right now. But 270 is going to be that support, right? So yesterday's low, you'll notice 269.28. That was kind of like the previous resistance. We came down, validated that support at 270, and right now we're pushing back higher, up over 64 basis points pre-market. So that right there is going to be the support level intraday. That's the level to watch. But if you do get that breakdown, which again, considering the valuation, I wouldn't be surprised to see 250 and kind of aligned with that 50 EMA is going to be that next support level to watch. All right, so let's see. Kanal, the NEO's recovery was the best surprise yesterday, shows confidence, conviction. Yes, so NEO was definitely Adam, I'll go over skills right after this one, right after NEO. But NEO, definitely. I mean, there was a strong recovery here. It was even green at one point, trading past over 39, almost at $40 a share. But then the sellers basically stepped in. So, right now we're seeing a lot of consolidation for NEO. So if you were to kind of identify this chart, you'll notice that we're just like trading sideways, right? There's been a lot of consolidation, basically moving sideways here. But you're right, the buyers basically stepped in, and the volume was also very, very significant for NEO at just under 57 million versus 40 million. That's the average daily volume. So strong momentum here for NEO yesterday. Let's see how it actually performs today. We're still in this context of a downtrending pattern, but still waiting for a breakout over 41.75 to as high as $42 a share for NEO. So bear flag, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a good observation. I wouldn't be surprised because this is kind of like a bear flag too. You can call it that because this right here was a sell-off, and right now we are seeing kind of like this formation for NEO. So this could be seen as some type of a bear flag. You're right. So if you do get that, like I said in my previous videos, I wouldn't be surprised to see 34. I'm fully prepared mentally to see $34 for NEO if we get a breakdown below this level. So again, the patterns, there are a couple patterns that are both bearish. The bear flag, which Matthias basically identified, and then this downtrending pattern as well, kind of like this lower highs and lower lows that we're just following up with NEO. So there needs to be more volume. There needs to be a couple of breakouts over $41, $45 in order for us to see that trend reversal for NEO as well. So those are going to be some levels to watch. Let's take a look at, so which one was that stock? Skills. So Skills had a couple really, really good days, right? So green days. So yesterday it had a green day, but on a really, really massive red candle. So what does that tell you? Again, quick quiz here before the markets open. We got 4 minutes left for the markets to open. Quick quiz. What does that tell us? And I've mentioned this before. If you've got a green day but a red candle, what does that tell us for a stock in terms of price action? What does that tell us? Is it strong? Is it weak? Is it a lot of buyers stepping in, or is it a lot of profit taking happening? What's going on? Right? If it's a green day but you've got a significant red candle like this. Amazon had a pretty same day yesterday as well. So Bearish, weak, super weak. Kevin, you guys are all on point. Absolutely fantastic. Great answers. So you guys are right. I mean, green day, but we had a lot of selling pressure, right? Intraday. That basically means sellers were in full control. You guys are absolutely right. And there was a lot of profit taking, right? Same thing happened with Corsair Gaming, right? So take a look at this pattern. So if you come over to Corsair Gaming and you come over to this day right here on June 14th, exact same pattern. We gapped up so much. At one point, we were up over 40%. All the way to as of $43 a share, and the sellers basically took so much profit, and it went down intraday. It was down 16%, and look what happened after that, right? We've just been on a consistent downtrend. So when it comes to scales, I'm not saying that it's going to start selling off now, but that's just a good observation from you guys that sellers really stepped in when we tagged that 50 EMA at 1378, right? So that's the yellow line. We got tagged at, and then the sellers kicked in to bring us down back below 1247. And the good thing is that we also filled the entire gap. So if you were to remove this candle, so let me see if I can do that. Let's see, I'm just gonna do this. You know what? I'm just gonna put that. So right here, we're just gonna remove this candle. So once we remove this candle, you take a look where the market, where it opened, right? It opened all the way up here. We had a huge gap right here. Right, so when you fast forward to now, which you should be able to do with this, now we had a huge gap fill, right? We opened right there and we sold off all the way down here to fill that gap for scales. So next support is going to still be at 1080, 1085, and the next resistance still stays put at 1247. And like I said, the good thing is we just filled that gap. The high for yesterday was 1212. The low for yesterday was 1208. So 4 cents apart. We basically came back in to fill entirely. And let's see if you actually see that buyer step in. But 50 EMA, very, very strong resistance here for scales. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla pre-market was pretty much flat, still up over 12 basis points, nothing crazy there. But 750 is the resistance. $750 next target, next resistance. Still waiting for that level to get hit. Yesterday's high was 741.99, so just shy of 742. About $8 shy of that target. So we'll see. We'll see if they actually get up there or not. So yes, think Apple got the same candle. A lot of stocks did. Amazon got the same candle. Same exact patterns. We were up over 24 basis points, but then red. So a lot of sellers stepped in. I think the same candle formed for Nasdaq too. Like if you take a look at the Nasdaq here, it wasn't quite a red candle, but just a long wick to the upside. It's kind of like an inverted hammer candle, right? So it usually does represent some type of a trend reversal. And this candle, when it forms, it usually does lead to some type of a trend reversal. So I think S&P 500 didn't quite form that, but I do remember seeing it a couple of times in the past, when we have seen some type of trend reversals for the S&P 500. But nonetheless, I mean, it was kind of like a really interesting day yesterday when the sellers really sort of jumped in. But now the markets are starting to push higher once again, especially the Dow. It's up over 36 basis points pre-market. All right, we got about 15 seconds left for the markets to open. We're going to switch over to the actual indices and then, of course, take some more requests from you guys, go over all the stocks. Oh, yes, Renji, thank you so much. Green and red poll. Let's do this. Market today, green, red. All right, so there we go. There's our poll. Let's see where we end up. Mara is hitting $43, so that's very, very strong from Mara, so we're probably up another 6% or something on the day so far. And we'll see where the markets end up. And yes, we'll go over Fiverr as well in just a second. But strong open for the markets, and we got Mara. It's up over 5%, just over $43.37. 44.50 is that next resistance. That next resistance for Mara is going to be at 43.25. Very, very important level to watch. And of course, it's as a result of Ethereum pushing higher, and then Bitcoin also back up to over 50,000. So strong breakout from both Bitcoin and Ethereum on the day, right? So it's just been pushing higher. All right, let's just quickly check our stocks here. So I'm going to put NEO over here, Tesla right there. Apple is also on the move, back up to 154. It's almost hitting a new all-time high once again. And then let's take a look at Amazon here. It's up over 0.5%, back up to almost 3,500 for Amazon. So Tesla, Apple, Amazon, and well, those three stocks are green. NEO slightly down. And if you were to take a look at the one-day chart here, energy is the one that's outperforming all the other sectors so far, right? Energy is really up in the green so far here. We got so many alerts going off. Yes, we'll go over Pinterest, Fiverr, Neo. Don't you guys worry, we will cover those. You know what, I'll just put ChargePoint here so you guys can see that. Starting to pull back a little bit. Still up over 9.3%, but we are seeing a little bit of a profit taking, seems like, right before the market's opened. SAVA, quick analysis on that. It's just sitting perfectly above that 200 simple moving average. So I mean, that 200 SMA, we're just sitting perfectly at that level, right? So, and definitely oversold here. The MACD coming down, the RSI coming down as well. So very oversold here, and we're just sitting above the 200 SMA. So that is going to be that next support level to watch at close to about $49 to $50 a share. Quick look on Fiverr, we're up 23 basis points, just consolidating sideways, 178, just getting rejected at 180. It's not really much for us to go over there. Let's take a look at Snow. So Walgreens is in the green again, so that's good. A couple days ago it had a pretty green day and then a really strong red day, right? But Snow, next target that I have in the short term is at 327, but this company also trades at a very rich valuation, so I don't have this for a long term or anything because it trades at 106 times sales. So that still in itself is very aggressive in terms of the valuation. So in the short term, like just based on the technicals, 265 is going to be the support, 327 is going to be that next resistance and the next target to watch. So I'm not planning on buying Fiverr yet. I'm waiting for that 150-ish level. So I think I would be more interested at that. I do have to kind of see what I want to do with Mara right now because it's up another 7.5% right now. And that's obviously because of what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing at the moment. So, all right, let's see here. So Mara has been one of our really strong swing trades, right? So we've been buying it since like the low 20s, and it's just been doing really well. So I'm just gonna create this very quickly. All right, so let's do this. All right, so 44.50 is the high for the day. So 44.52 is kind of like the high for the day, and we've got that as a resistance as well for the company. So Take-Two Interactive, TTWO, trading back up to 162. So you'll notice that we are just trading at 162.72. We're up another 0.5%. So nothing really going on. You know, I would be watching close to 151 level. I think that I'll be really interested in buying more shares at that level for this company. Upwork is up another 18 basis points, so nothing really going on over there. It's pretty much flat. Upstart, wow, 231.64. I mean, this stock just keeps going. This stock is just an absolute monster when it comes to like just gains. Like it's been on a strong uptrend here. So yeah, I'll be watching Upstart as well very closely. I'm not really looking to add anymore here because it's just very overbought just based on the RSI and the MACD as well. So C3AI, that's a good one. AI we haven't really gone over. It was selling off, right? It was down 10%, so pretty aggressive sell off here. 47 is going to be that next support level to watch for C3AI because it was down quite a bit. No way, Netflix is all-time high? That's awesome. This right here for C3I, next support at close to $47 a share for the company. Let's take a look at Netflix. There we go, strong breakout, almost 2%. 594 is the all-time high for Netflix. New all-time high for Netflix in after 7 months, 8 months, finally hitting a new all-time high. So for all Netflix shareholders, congratulations. It's been a strong journey. I mean, it's just been consolidating for the longest time, right? It's been in this range for like more than a year. So I would really want Netflix to break out to new all-time highs beyond $600 a share because I feel like Netflix shareholders have been waiting for so long. So again, congratulations, strong breakout over 593. Ideally, I would like to see a close above 593 and see, oh, there we go. Great. This is awesome. Let's see. All right, hopefully it's not that bad. Hopefully we get power back very soon. But Tattooed Chef 23. Next target is going to be that 23.64. So this right here is going to be that next level to watch for Tattooed Chef. And yeah, strong breakout, 3.6%. It's really been rallying from lows of 1550. Let's see, it's up It's up 48-50%, right? So strong move to the upside here. So DraftKings for Ben, very quickly, we're gonna go over this. It's just consolidating sideways, nothing really going on. Support at $55.50, resistance $65. Still really just stabilizing, consolidating sideways at over $60 a share. So David, we have gone over ChargePoint, we've gone over AI, we've gone over a lot of different stocks. So what am I microwaving? nothing really. But yeah, just the power just keeps going out. To invest in power, it's not that I need to invest. Like, we've got a pretty sound like generator and everything. It's just the power keeps going out here in India, right? That's anybody who's watching from like Asia, like around here, like if you're not in the US or anything, or Canada, but like if you're here, you'll understand the power does go out quite often. So it's a struggle here. All right, let's just switch over to the 5-minute charts, see how the markets are doing. Kind of like a back and forth here, still stabilizing. All right, let's just go over Disney very quickly. Disney seems to be breaking out, I guess. There we go. So 184.51. So just continuing on that momentum. I do see some resistance in the near term at close to this 186 level. 186. If we take that out, then 190 is going to be that next resistance, right? That's going to be the next target level to watch. So 180, strong support here. Intraday all the way as low as 186. That's going to be the near term resistance, all the way as 190 to watch. Energy stocks have actually been doing really well, I think, today. So we've got so Brent and crude, they're both up 1.5%, 2% each respectively. We got Chevron, Exxon also up almost 1.5% on the day. So they've been doing really well. With Amazon now up over 75 basis points, and then we got Apple also up over 1.3%. Let's take a quick look on Spotify. So Spotify, strong move here. Breakout happening. There he goes. It's a breakout for Spotify over 240. Yeah, so thank you for mentioning that. This is a strong breakout here from this downtrending channel. So, it's up another 3.6%. The volume needs to pick up. I would ideally like to see at least 2 million shares traded today. But this is now going to start acting as a new support. So 240 is going to be a new support level to watch for Spotify. The next resistance is going to be that 200 SMA right there, 276. We got rejected right there, coming in from June 30th. So that right there is going to be the level to watch. It's been down over 27% since, and now we're starting to see that push higher once again, right? So 240 support, 276 resistance to watch for Spotify. Pinterest, just consolidating sideways, not really doing anything. It's pretty much flat. 54 support still. We got a huge gap to fill here, and resistance stays put at 66, all the way as low as $62. So that's going to be the 50 EMA right here. So we're just consolidating sideways at support levels. Nothing really happening. So Mark, we went over AI earlier. So if you want to basically go back and rewind that, because we went over the actual technicals as well for the company. So you'll be able to see that as well for C3AI. All right, so Amazon, look at that, 35.11, up almost 90 basis points here. ChargePoint starting to see that profit taking here intraday. Let's see how AMC is doing. AMC is also down, unfortunately, down almost 2% here. Walgreens. So Walgreens back up to over $50, up another 1%. Yesterday, a lot of buyers stepped in for Walgreens, right? So we had a low of 49.48 before we saw the buyers kind of step in, right? So you'll notice the higher highs and higher lows. It's a strong uptrend. And the next resistance, my target is at close to $54 for Walgreens. Is it lagging again? Is it lagging? I don't know. Just let me know if in the live chat you guys can see me fine, or if it's still lagging. But Walgreens, we got a dividend payout coming up in September. I believe it's like in the middle of September that they're going to be paying out. But VIX is down about 2%, and the markets continue. The party continues. And the S&P at 45.42. How many of you guys actually think that we're going to see 5,000 before the end of the year? So I'm going to end this poll. 75% people said green, and about 25% people said red on the day. So far we are on point with the green markets. But let me see. Let me ask you guys for the S&P 500 at 4,500 before the end of the year. So S&P at 4,500 before the end of the year. That's the question. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me end that poll. That's the wrong question. 5,000. I wanted to type 5,000. And poll. $5,000 before the end. All right, S&P 500 at 5,000 before the end of the year. That would be, I think, 6%, 6% or 7% increase from its current levels for the S&P 500, right? 5,000. That would be, well, that would be 10%, 10% for the S&P 500. But yeah, I mean, we got the buyers stepping in. There just seems to be so much cash on the sidelines that the markets are just resilient to pretty much everything. If you take a look at the one-day chart here, Bitcoin still pushing high. Energy stocks that we went over earlier, doing really well. Then we followed by all the other sectors pretty much aligned together. The yields are starting to push higher here. So yields were down about 80 basis points, and now we're starting to push higher even further. Let's take a look at NEO. NEO back up to $39.77. That's good. That's solid. Back up to almost $40. Remember, 41.72 is going to be that next resistance level to watch for NEO. Let's take a quick look on Palantir. So Palantir still hovering above that 25.75 level. So that's still going to be that next support. Resistance still stays put at 27.50. So C3AI 20 went over that earlier. You're more than welcome to check out. If you're gonna go back on the live stream, we went over C3AI. We went over ChargePoint. We went over C3AI. We went over CrowdStrike. We haven't gone over SoFi. Let's just quickly go over that and see how that stock is doing. So just consolidating sideways. Yesterday was a decent day. It's up over 2.7%. But today we are pretty much down about 1%. Nothing crazy. So that is still gonna be just more consolidation sideways for SoFi. It's up 22%, which means it would have to about the same for the rest of the year, but rest of the year usually not as good as the first part. That's true. I mean, it is up quite a bit, 22%. So for it to go another 10% higher, it's kind of a bit of a challenge. But again, with the amount of liquidity there is in the markets, then I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Read an article about young and aggressive investors are pushing the markets, and that we might not see a correction. Yeah, I mean, we may not see a correction, but the only problem is, and again, this is kind of like what I'm thinking towards the end of September, or days leading up to the end of September, is that it's the end of the third quarter. So usually towards the quarter end, we see like some type of rebalancing happening. And when that rebalance happens, it's usually the big money, right? Institutional investors, hedge fund managers, professional money managers, they basically start rebalancing portfolios. And if they start doing that, that's going to lead to some type of selling pressure. We have seen that in the past. We have seen some selling pressure just strictly based on some rebalancing. So in my view, I mean, regardless of how much liquidity there is in the markets and there's how much cash on the sidelines, if there is some profit taking, if there is some rebalancing in the markets, then that in itself is going to create some selling pressure for the markets, right? There's no way that there's going to be enough money to stop that from happening, right? So if we are going to see a correction, it's probably going to be towards the end of this month, in my opinion, if we do see one. But again, it goes back to our debate of seasonality charts and how much are they valid now versus when they were back in 1945 and 1990s, because now over the last 4 years, 3 times we have actually never even seen September being a red month. It was just last year, but then before that we saw like green months for September. So we'll see what happens. I'm ready. I'm basically ready to see even if you do see one, I would be buying all the way down. But even if you don't see it, I feel like I'm comfortable just being invested and having some cash on the sidelines to take advantage of those deals. So Mara's still up to 44.20. Spotify is up 4.5%, 249. Strong breakout on Spotify. Tattooed Chef is up another 3.7%, 23.25. Upstart at 234. This stock, 234, just keeps going. Coinbase at 274. So Coinbase, I'm watching $302. That's going to be that next resistance to watch. That's my next target. So thoughts on the price earnings of SPY? Looks like days leading up to .com burst. It is. I mean, SPY, what is it? Last time we checked, it was trading close to 37, 38 price earnings, which is rich. it is rich, you know. And you know, we read an article yesterday. We read about how the earnings are revised up and why they're going up is because of the access to cheap capital. Interest rates being so low that companies have access to so much capital, they're able to reinvest back into the business, fuel their growth, and of course, earnings are growing and margins are growing with it, right? Net margins, gross margins for the companies. So, you know, it's always important for us to monitor that. And even if you take a look at the Buffett indicator, you know, that's over 200% relative to market cap, relative to GDP, and with the PE ratio as well, that's also pretty substantial at these levels. So it's definitely time for us to be cautious, because it's not the time to be aggressive in this market, at least not in my opinion. But just to kind of sit back, observe what's going on. If there's opportunities, great. If there's not, there's nothing wrong with just holding, right? And just waiting and observing the markets, because everything is just pushing higher. So Neo back up to over $40. That's good. A lot of buyers stepping in, 2.89% gain on the day. Next target is going to be 41.68, 41.60, 41.50, call it that. So Neo is popping. It is. So Neo above, well, 3 people. Neo 40, Neo above 40, Neo past 40. So that's good. That's good. 41.50 is going to be that next resistance to watch intraday. That's the level that I'm watching. Up almost 3% on the day. And Alibaba is up another 1.5%. Fiverr back up to 180. I mean, this stock, 180. When are we going to see that successful breakout? So we'll see. Caddy, you always keep us guessing if you're going live. I have withdrawals when you don't. I've been pretty much live every market open, right, for the last like several months. Honestly, I don't think I've missed. Maybe I've missed like a couple days, but I've been live pretty much every day of market open, at least for like the first hour of market open. Tomorrow I will be live a little bit earlier because we've got the jobs day. By the way, I forgot to go over the calendar very quickly. But yes, we've got the jobs data coming out tomorrow. It's the first Friday of the month, so September 3rd, 2021. By the way, you guys can take a screenshot of this, right? If you want, you can take a screenshot of right here, and kind of have this calendar, you know, and understand and know when these events are happening and what time, because these are going to be very important. And next Monday, the markets are going to be closed in observance of Labor Day, so it's a long weekend, which, by the way, I absolutely hate. I don't like long weekends at all. Yeah, so I do have a laptop that I use. I don't actually have a physical computer, but so thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. So Corsair 2850 is going to be that next resistance level to watch. For right now, it's just consolidating sideways. And again, yesterday, a couple days ago, we saw a lot of volume because of Wall Street bets. It was up over 2%. It was much higher than, again, we saw the sellers come in and bring us back down. Vertex Pharmaceuticals just at 198, so still getting rejected at 200. I think it's gonna continue to fight some resistance at that $200 level until we finally see that breakout. But in the meantime, you know, there is going to be some resistance level to watch for Vertex. Let's take a look at Mara. So 44.52, we got rejected at that level perfectly. So this right here was a resistance, 44.50ish, 44.58, and we're just getting rejected at 44.52, right? So that is a resistance on the day to watch. That is a very important resistance. We have gone rejected at that level in the past, so we'll see. I'm so happy with your company during daytime. Appreciate your daily live streams. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, and glad you find them helpful. What software do you use to record? I use OBS Studio to record, and screen to share as well. So that's basically what I use. Hate the long weekend. What's wrong with you, bro? I don't. I mean, it's mostly, you know, most of my weekend is spent just researching a lot of stocks. I did an analysis on Shopify earlier. By the way, what do you guys think about Shopify? I want to know from you guys. If for those of you who actually did get a chance to watch the video, what do you guys think? And you know, what is your analysis on that, on Shopify? We can also go over Autodesk very quickly here, just a second. All right, so everyone, I'm just gonna send a quick alert here. Shopify will come down. 5-year stock. Shopify too expensive. So, I mean, it's up today 2%. 1575 is a resistance here, so that's the level we're watching. But just based on the valuations, it seemed like really expensive, right? Across all valuations, it was really expensive. But by the way, I'm not gonna take away from the video, so make sure you guys watch that video as well. But I did put a price target on it, a couple of price targets. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna come down or go up. It just means that the valuation is rich at these levels. So Apple still up over 1.4%. We got Peloton up over 1.4, trading past over $100 a share. Let's take a look at some of the SPY holdings, and we'll jump over to some of the Dow stocks. So Norwegian, Royal, Carnival, so some of the recovery stocks are coming down. I'm really interested in Southwest. So Southwest has been coming down. It's down almost, from its recent highs of $65. We have been selling off over 25%. So, Southwest is one of the very few airlines that I like because they've got one of the best balance sheets out of all. Even though it's not ideal. But compared with American Airlines, United Airlines, compared with all the other airlines in the US, they probably have one of the best balance sheets right now. And of course, with the low cost carrier, there is potential, right? Quarter revenues going up, annual revenues have also been stable, but of course 2020 getting the biggest hit because of the pandemic. So Southwest, I'm really, it's on my watch list. I'm going to be doing some analysis on this as well to see if I actually like this company, because it has come down substantially from its recent highs. So 49, around those levels, $48 per share. I wouldn't be surprised to actually take a position around these levels. The R side continues to form this divergence, right? That's also really interesting. So if you take a look at the bullish divergence here, we have a strong sort of like a bullish pattern here forming. So it's going to be on my watch list. I've been watching this for the last couple days, I think. All right, so what do you think about beverage stocks like Molson Coors? Let's take a quick look. So I hope this is the right chart. Tap. Let's see, it's been coming down as well. So from $60, it's down a little bit over 23%. Does it pay any dividends? 2.86% dividends. So yeah, I figured the next support level to watch for this stock is going to be at roughly around this 43.50 level. So I would watch that stock, watch that support very closely. Futu at $113. Wow, what a rally, right? It had a strong rally yesterday and then also pushing higher today up another, I don't know, we'll take a look. But $43.50, $44 is going to be the support level to watch for this stock. Let's take a quick look at a few TU. Up another 4%, almost 4%, with breaking out next target and then next resistance going to be $118 a share. Strong breakout over $100. Yesterday it was up double digits, up over 14, almost 15%. So strong breakout on the day. All right, let's see here. So USD has been dropping. We covered that in our previous live streams for DXY. So right now it's starting to fall back down, right? So it's down a little bit over 1.4%. And we just got tagged at that resistance at close to 93.4, 93.5 levels right here. And we're starting to come down even further. So if it does break down below this sort of ascending support here, which seems to be the case right now, it's starting to come down, then the next level to watch is going to be that 91.7 levels for DXY. So this right here is going to be the level to watch. All right, so let's take a quick look on some of the other stocks here. So Salesforce still down about 33 basis points. We got Intel also flat. The ones that are in the green, we got Netflix at 596. High for the day. We're pretty much trading at high of the day and all-time highs. Shopify also up. ExxonMobil is up. So energy stocks also up, with Fiverr at 181 once again. We'll see if that level continues to sustain or if we do see a sell-off again. Amazon also up 63 basis points, just at 3,500. Let's go over to some Dow 30 stocks. We got Walgreens up over 1.3 at $51. So that's good. High for the day, 51.08. We're hitting a new recent high for the company as well. Let's take a look at Riot. Riot I haven't really looked into in a long time. 1.4%. It's got a tight consolidation pattern here. Plus, it is forming some type of an ascending sort of triangle as well. So if you'll take a look at this sort of higher lows, you'll notice that we are forming some type of an ascending triangle with this higher low and the horizontal resistance that we're just getting rejected at $39.40 level. So 40 bucks is going to be that next resistance right there. Support level stays put at this sort of a 36, 35.50 levels. So PayPal, very quickly, we're going to go over this as well. So just coming down a little bit, did break out over 280. So that was a breakout, and now we're just starting to consolidate. My next target, excuse me, is going to be at $310. So this right here is going to be my near-term target and that next resistance for PayPal. But just right now, coming down, it's no surprise. MACD did push up. RSI is just consolidating sideways, but just a little bit of stabilization for the price. 280 is going to be that next support. Let's take a look at Autodesk. Autodesk seems like it's coming down. $301. So there we go. It's starting to break down even further below $303 a share. That's incredible. So this right here is going to be the next resistance. 200 simple moving average is going to be that next support level to watch, and certainly it's going to be on my watch here at these prices. Still trades at a rich valuation. We did an analysis on Autodesk as well, kind of like a detailed analysis on this company. So you guys are more than welcome to watch that video. But strong revenue growth, great margins, great balance sheet. But still trades at 52 times earnings, so that's still pretty rich for me. But 292, that 200 SMA, is going to be that next support level to watch. So Dassault Systems, I've actually never heard of this company before. 64 billion market cap, low volume, less than 1 million. Revenue is growing, that's good. Margin kind of decreasing year over year. Quarter over quarter, we've seen a little bit of a decline. Balance sheet seems good so far. All right, let's just go back here. Nope, so cash only 4.8, well, cash only 2 billion versus a total debt, which is at about 4.8 billion, right? 97 times earnings. So, if you were to compare these two, if you're asking me to compare software, the same software SaaS as Autodesk, okay? So if you're asking me to compare, I'd say like this stock trades at a much higher valuation relative to where Autodesk is. So this is rating at 97 times earnings versus Autodesk, which is at 52 times earnings, and it's also had a huge divergence out from its moving averages as well, with a strong rally of 33%. So if you get that rebound or that retest at $45, it's going to be a drop of 7%. That right there is going to be that support level to watch for this company, right? DSY. Working with some Autodesk programs, and they need to fix a lot of things before I go into that stock. Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, they've got a couple really, really popular programs for architecture, design, manufacturing. But other than that, I mean, it's mostly like other softwares that are there in their portfolio, but don't quite sell as good as some of the other ones. But overall, I mean, I like the company's financials and the story, but the valuation remains rich for the company at the moment. So let's take a look at Zoom very quickly. Zoom, it's that's why I was a little bit hesitant buying on this dip here, because I just didn't think that the selling pressure was quite over yet on the company, and it's still kind of stabilizing at these levels. The RSI just 26, the MACD has been selling off. 276 is going to be that next support. But in terms of a long-term play, what do you guys think? I want to know from you guys, right? Do you guys see a future for Zoom or not? Because we've talked about this earlier. In my strong opinion, I personally don't. I think it's they don't have a very significant moat. And I could be wrong over the long term as they continue to adapt and bring new products and services to their portfolio as well. But in right now, just based on what they're doing, the valuation remains rich. So 276 is going to be that support level in the near term. This could represent a strong swing trading opportunity, but just as a long term, I don't personally have a position in this yet. I don't plan on having a position in this yet until, of course, things change. All right, let's take a look at SUNW, Sunworks. So Sunworks has been selling off aggressively from its all-time highs of $28. We're down a little bit over 73%. Support level is going to be roughly at this price point at $7.15. So previous resistance, support here. And right now we're just getting rejected from that moving average as well. So the 50 EMA, and we're forming some lower highs consistently for the stock. So right now, kind of like a descending triangle For Sunworks, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We're just getting tagged at that level. So it's got a very, very strong resistance at this price that I want you guys to watch, whoever's trading or investing in this, 850. So 850 is going to be that resistance aligned with that 50 EMA and the lower highs. So if you get that breakout, then there's going to be another target to watch, actually. It's going to be 931 for Sunworks. So a couple resistance levels here to watch for the company. The first one, the 50 EMA and the lower highs inside that descending triangle, and then if you do get that successful breakout, then 935 previous resistance and that support as well for the company. And then eventually we can expect some type of a trend reversal for the company as well. All right, quick update on the markets. We haven't looked at the markets yet. So NASDAQ up over 35 basis points. We got the S&P 500 still up over 34. The Dow starting to pull back a little bit, still up over 28 basis points. Energy really charging here on the day. Look at energy prices. Up over 1.3, then we got followed by yields, and then all the other sectors including healthcare, utilities, materials, staples, financials, discretionaries, tech, and communications all down. Relatively speaking, there's still some of them are up, but relative to energy, they're still down. Let's take a look at this. Wow, Upstart at 238, up over 5%. What is going on with this stock? Is there something that I don't know about? It is, I mean, oh man, I can't even talk about Upstart. It's up like so much from the breakout, which is good. I mean, we're probably up over 100% on this position, but it's way too overvalued. I mean, the more higher it goes, I get more sort of worried that this is going to be a stronger pullback or a correction. It's up over 125% after that breakout. So remember, when stocks go up, risk goes up, right? It's not like, of course, you make a lot of profit, but risk goes up with it, right? When stocks come down, the risk comes down drastically. So strong day for Upstart here. Upstart come back to me. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Amazon, Apple following an almost identical pattern here. And then we got NEO, let's see. Pushing higher nicely, $40.41. That's very strong. Up over 3% on the day, so that's good. Quick update on EVs. So EV watch list. We got everything up except for Ford and General Motors. Tesla's pretty much flat. Then we got Lordstown that's up, Hyliion, XPeng, Blink, XL Fleet. Workhorse is up, Li Auto, XPeng, Nikola, Lucid, ChargePoint also in the green. So strong day for EVs. Strong day for Chinese stocks as well. Well, for some of them, not for all. For Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, and JD.com are slightly down as well. But overall, I think it's a pretty decent day. But there we go. We're starting to see that selling pressure, right? For Amazon and Apple. So we'll see if the markets can hold up. Because yesterday, like we saw, rally, and then look at that. So if you were to kind of look at the NASDAQ here, I'm just going to quickly bring up the NASDAQ because I want to point out something very, very interesting. Look at where we got rejected. Can you guys notice something here on the 5-minute chart? So let me know in the live chat if you guys can notice here exactly where we got rejected for the NASDAQ before we started pulling back on the 5-minute chart compared with yesterday. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? NASDAQ is pulling back. Double top. Yep, Josh got it right here. So this right here on the 5-minute chart, not on the daily, not on the 4-hour, not anything else, but on the 5-minute chart, we got a double top perfect at 15,379. So yesterday's high was 15,379.50. Today's high is 15,380. So pretty much got rejected at the same level before yesterday's 1:30 p.m. sell-off that we saw. Today we gapped up, tested that level 3 times before starting to pull back. So we'll see. We'll see if that level continues to act as some type of resistance or if we actually end up breaking out even further. So Upstart is beast. I know Upstart is absolutely killing it today. Yep, so this was the Dow Jones. Yeah, I don't think it's the same pattern for the S&P either. S&P actually formed a new all-time high of 45.45. 45.45.85, the new all-time high for the S&P. All right, let's take a look at some of the other growth stocks here very quickly, and then we'll call it. But for the most part, AI, like we covered earlier, down over 8%. We got Roku that's down over 2.5%, trading just over $359. Then we got SAM down to $565. Wow. Sam has just been absolutely getting beaten down like crazy. That's why I'm a little hesitant jumping in at these levels, despite how undervalued this stock is. I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer to see where it actually trades. So next support is gonna be this level right here, close to $500 a share. But this is again very undervalued just based on where it's trading. But the problem with Sam is that I did take a look at their earnings transcript and read a little bit on it. The management doesn't seem confident. That's the only problem. They've kind of reduced their guidance, and they don't seem confident about the future either. And that's the last thing you want, because who is the closest to the actual company's growth? It's the management, right? Management knows everything and what they can expect, right? We can all make projections, but the management actually knows to the T how much growth they can expect moving forward. But they don't feel confident. That's what Wall Street doesn't like. And of course, that's hence the sell-off from 1,300. It's down over 58%. Strong sell-off here for the company. Moderna, let's take a quick look. So Moderna just consolidating sideways in this consolidation pattern. So just trading in this range. 411 is going to be that next resistance to watch for the stock right there. 410, 411, and support is going to be aligned at close to 360 levels. All right, NEO, strong day here for NEO so far. But other than that, I think we've got Fiverr up to 183. Strong day for Fiverr. APPS, Digital Turbine, it's up another 2.5% here, breaking it over $60.68. Do you guys want to guess what yesterday's high was? Excuse me. So you guys want to guess what yesterday's high was for for APPS, Digital Turbine? So yesterday's high for Digital Turbine was $60.68. It was at that resistance where we got rejected at, and then it basically closed at 59.79. So it was right there for the close. All right, quick update on the poll. We got 66% people said. So Glenn, yes, you got it. $60.68 for APPS. But quick update on the poll. S&P 500 for 5,000 before the end of the year. We got 66 people said yes, and 33% people said no. So that was very, very interesting. So more people that are bullish for a 10% move to the upside in Q4 than there are people that are bearish. So $60.68. We're now starting to see a breakout here for APPS. That's good. And that next resistance to watch is actually going to be around this $67 level. Just going to mark that right there. $67.24, $67 level is going to be that next resistance to watch for Digital Turbine. All right, guys. So I'm actually going to call it here. Thank you so much for joining in. Quick update on the markets though. We're still green, but coming down intraday, so that's a little bit of a selling pressure. We'll see how the markets trade and where we end up. But overall, we are seeing a bit of a selling pressure. Upstart, NEO still beasting on the day with with Amazon and Apple coming down a little bit. So thank you so much for joining in. I really, really appreciate you guys' support. And remember, it's the first week of September, so if you want to join our Discord, the link to our Patreon is going to be down in the description below. You'll get access to all the real-time buy and sell alerts, real-time market updates, charts, economic events, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, everything, all 9 yards. You will get everything. So thank you so much for joining in. Really, really appreciate you guys' support. Tomorrow, remember that I will be live a little bit earlier at around 8 a.m. Eastern to cover the jobs report, and then we'll be able to break down more stocks. So come prepared tomorrow, and if you guys have any requests, I will be taking that for at least an hour before the markets open. And then, of course, we'll go over to the market open live stream as well. So thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate you guys. As always, happy investing. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Take care.